Hello, good morning and welcome to Clontarf Cricket Club. Delighted to have you with us this morning for this National Cup final between Rush Cricket Club and Leash Cricket Club. Earlier on today, Rush won the toss and have elected to bowl. The conditions here in Clontarf Cricket Club are just perfect for a game of cricket. For those of you joining us on the live stream, can I bid you a Céad Míle Fáilte? It's great to have you with us this morning, and we hope you enjoy the cricket throughout the day. I'm sure we're in for a terrific game. Again, to remind you, the toss was won by Alan Butterley, the Rush captain, and he has elected to bowl. To open the batting with myself this morning, I'm delighted to welcome Brian McNeese, and I'm going to say hello and good morning to you, Brian.
Morning, Heathley. Yeah, good to have you here.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's a great pleasure to be here. All well with you?
Oh, not too bad. Yeah, I can't complain
Good,
at all now. Yeah,
good. Did you get to see any of the All-Ireland Cup final yesterday?
I saw about 2 hours of it yesterday. Yeah, I was on rugby refereeing duty in the afternoon, so I saw a little bit of John Anderson and Dom Joyce getting going, and yeah, I thought from what I saw, Marion fully deserved the win.
Yeah.
I got back for the kind of tail end of the game, but by the time I arrived, it was pretty much over as a contest.
Yeah.
But a very good performance from Marion.
Yeah, they were terrific. And so we're about to kick off here this morning, and opening the bowling for Rush is Alan Eastwood, vastly experienced cricketer.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if he can make any hay with the conditions. A little bit overcast and tiny little bit of moisture in the air. He might be able to get a bit of movement off the pitch. I
think one of the interesting things about Alan is he was lead coach down in Leash for a number of years. So a lot of particularly the younger boys on the side, Alan has had a big influence on their cricketing career.
Yeah, I did have a chat with him a couple of weeks ago, actually, and I was asking him would it be strange playing against some of his former colleagues, but I think he was relishing the prospect, and you can see he pushes the ball through very well. You know, he's a big, tall guy, and generates a little bit of pace.
Yeah, he certainly does, and of course is vastly experienced, having played cricket at the very highest level. Our umpires today are Aidan Seaver and our third umpire is Derek Dockrell, and two splendid scorers in Adrian Tudor and that stalwart from Rush, Siobhan McBennett. So we're all set for what I hope will be a really good game of cricket. Conditions are near perfect. It's cloudy overhead. Plenty of chat from the Rush team, no more than you would expect. And in comes Eastwood. Big, tall Alan Eastwood. Well watched by the batsman, through to the keeper.
Yeah, you can see he's got his line pretty good right from the off. He's just putting it outside off stump, and the ball isn't coming through that well. It's coming through low to the Rush keeper, Neil Rock. So probably not a huge amount of pace in the wicket by the looks of it. A very consistent line here from Alan Eastwood, and it's a good start from him.
And so the opening bats for Leash, Croke and Siddiqui. Oh, there's an edge which didn't quite carry to young Neil Rock. Very fine young prospect. Lots of fine young cricketers in Rush at present. They've been very much to the fore of all things youth cricket in Ireland over the last number of years, having won under 11 and under 13 All-Irelands, and they're in a semi-final of an under-15 All-Ireland, so lots of terrific youngsters there, Brian, coming through in Rush.
Yeah, there is, and I've actually been down in Rush a couple of times this year, and I'm struck by the number of kids that are around every time you're down in the club. There's a healthy cadre of kids there all the time, just knocking around in the nets, and that is obviously coming through in the youth setup. There's a lot of investment that's gone into the youth setup in Rush, and you're starting to see that come through in the first team, and also obviously the junior teams are doing very, very well.
Yeah, I mean it's actually a little bit similar to yesterday's All-Ireland Cup final in that, Rush are not performing in the league. Neither are Leash, as it happens. Both are pretty much at the bottom of their respective leagues, and yet have had terrific cup campaigns, which is pretty similar, I suppose, to Merrion.
Yeah, very similar. And Rush obviously, is kind of have a good history in this competition. They obviously take it very, very seriously. And they're a good cup side. They're a difficult side to beat on their day. They've got enough players that can win matches for you. They've got match winners right throughout the side. The likes of Stephen Donaghy, Lionel Jansen, Sadak Gull, Iqbal. You just look through their lineup. Alan Eastwood. They've got plenty of players that if they're on their day, they can win you the game, and that is part of the makeup of a good cup side.
And Sadak Gull now coming from the Killester Road end. In he comes, right arm over the wicket. Beats the outside of the mat. That'll give him plenty of encouragement. And he receives plenty of encouragement. So good start this from Rush.
Yeah, very disciplined line and length bowling from both Alan Eastwood and now Sadak Gull. And I suspect he's got a little bit of movement off the pitch there. We're kind of at a bit of an angle here. You can't really see just how much movement he's getting, but certainly the conditions are conducive to movement off the pitch.
Leash just waiting to get their first run. There's the first big appeal of the day, but no movement on the part of Aidan Seaver.
Yeah, he got a good stride in, and it looked as if it was a bit leg side as well. So
I think so.
I think just a little optimistic appeal from Rush. I don't think they seriously thought that was going to be given.
Yeah. In comes Gull. Well watched, well left. One slip, Gully, deep point, extra cover.
Yeah, I think Leash's tactic here will be just to try and kind of see off this first hour, not to lose early wickets. And losing early wickets is very difficult to build a kind of an innings from that. So I think it's important that they kind of consolidate for the first hour and give themselves a chance at posting a total.
It's another good delivery, as Brian says. Their line, their length has been on the money right from the start. They're very enthusiastic in the field here, Rush. They're up for this in a big way, and why shouldn't they be? They have a terrific cup record. It's great competition, this, the National Cup, Ryan. I love it.
I think it's a fantastic competition. I think it's great to give clubs from all over the country the opportunity to play on a national level. We've got clubs obviously from all four provinces in the competition, and I know from talking to people down in, for example, down in Connacht with some of the teams down there, it gives them a real buzz, kind of playing on a national stage. I think it's a very important competition. I hope it continues to get good support.
Well, I think it's so important, and particularly we've just touched on the fine breed of youngsters coming through. It's so important for them to play in a competition such as this, and they will only benefit greatly from it. In comes Eastwood.
Yeah, you can certainly see, Rush are very, very lively in the field here in the first couple of overs, and I think supporting their bowlers, obviously, poor Leash still to get off the mark here, and Rush just trying to strangle them in these early overs.
It was noticeable yesterday in the Merrion innings, and Merrion nicely played. It's the first. There we are. Big round of applause. And so Leash off the mark now. Just run down to third man. Nicely played. Yeah, it was interesting yesterday because Waringstown yesterday won the toss, also elected to field. In Merrion's innings, they were only 8 after 10 overs. It was a very slow, steady, pensive start, but they then sort of accelerated at a lovely rate through the middle overs. And
well, I think that's the really important thing, and I think Leash need to make sure that they adapt a similar tactic here. Much more important that they keep wickets. If they can survive these opening sort of 5-10 overs without losing any wickets, at least that gives them a platform then to go from. So I wouldn't be too concerned if I was in a Leash position at the moment. It's all about just seeing out this opening spell here from the rush bowlers.
the opening bat here for Leash, Anish Siddiqui. Relatively small in stature, but a powerful man. He'll be looking to get Leash off to a good start. Going after that, full length delivery from Eastwood. Just throwing his hands at it.
Yeah, just a little bit wider from Alan Eastwood there, and Anish Siddiqui saw his opportunity to try and have a go. Obviously, we're in the power play at the moment, so no fielders out on the boundary. So if he could kind of flash at that wide one and get hold of it, it would go. But obviously, didn't quite connect.
Well fielded there. One of the very important players for Rush there at mid-wicket. Stephen Doheny, Irish under-19 international, played in the World Cup in Bangladesh earlier on this year. And Rush will be looking for him to score runs today.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to actually seeing him bat again later on today. He's certainly a prospect that's well worth keeping an eye on. He's very, very talented cricketer, and one that hopefully will push on, and we'll see him representing Leinster and hopefully Ireland in the future.
Absolutely. Stephen Doheny, young boy, 19 years of age. And I think, one of the things that impresses me about Leash or about Rush, Brian, is a lot of their young talent, and they have plenty of it. I see Dean Brogan out there today, and Neil Rock, captain of the Irish under-15s, there during the week, playing in a cricket festival against very fine sides over in Jersey. But they're all Leash boys. They're all Rush boys. Sorry, yeah, and they're very much part of the fabric and the culture that is Rush Cricket Club.
Yeah, well, it's very much a community-based club as well. You get a real sense of that whenever you go there. They're very, very welcoming. They've got a lot of people who've contributed an awful lot to cricket in Leinster in particular, and in Ireland. The likes of Matt Sheridan, Siobhan McBennett, people like that who done a huge amount of
great cricket people.
Work. Yeah, absolutely. So, and you can see that they're encouraging the kids to come through. So the likes of Stephen Doheny have benefited from the work that those people have put in.
Really good lines these. Rush will be delighted with the start. We're in the 4th over. 1 run scored, and
well, it's exactly what Alan Butterley would have been looking for, having won the toss and deciding to bowl. He would have wanted his bowlers just to start in a very disciplined way and start building pressure on the Leash batsmen, and that's exactly what they've done so far. Again, just a hint of movement off the pitch there. I think he's kind of bringing it into the left-handed batsman and just wrapping him on the pads, just too high for an appeal.
Yeah. So you involved with Cricket Ireland at all now, Brian, or is that?
No, not really. Since I stepped down as a national selector a year and a half ago now.
Okay.
All my involvement. So I automatically stepped down from the Leinster Lightning setup as well at the same time. So I haven't been involved on that side of things at all. Occasionally do a few bits and pieces with some of the management group, Warren Dootram, and on the strategy side. But yeah, other than that, I can just relax and enjoy
Watching cricket,
without
yeah.
any responsibility now.
Lovely. How lovely is that? Aidan Seaver signals to our scorers. That's the first wide of the morning. Another run to the total. Leash moving on to 2 runs now.
As you say, a very similar pattern to yesterday's game with Marion when they had a kind of slow start, but you saw the benefit of the wickets in hand at the end. Again, just coming back into the batsman, and he's taken a decent stride though, so probably saved him there. As I said, we're kind of side on rather than.
He's a big, tall man, Croak.
Yes, yeah. Once he takes a big stride, creates that element of doubt in the umpire's mind as to kind of there's still a lot to happen after the ball strikes him on the pads.
Alan Eastwood continuing in his spell. Siddiqui on strike. Good to see a couple of young boys passing us in a Dublin jersey. I think I know who they'll be cheering for later today.
Yeah, I'd say you'll see a few Dublin jerseys dotted around the place today.
I would have thought so. Huge game in Croker today.
Yeah, depending on the prevailing wind, you might even hear some of the cheers at some stage from.
Okay.
Yeah. Big inside edge there, and Alan Eastwood just a little bit unlucky. Just getting a big inside edge and safely down to fine leg.
Been a great servant to the game for many years, and it's fantastic to see someone with his experience and having played cricket at such a high level come back to the. It's a good shot. Around just coming back to the hinterland where he lives and giving so much to Rush now.
Yeah.
It's terrific.
Yeah, it is terrific to see. I've always liked Alan Eastwood as a bowler. If you look at his action, he's got a very, very nice action. He stays nice and tall in his action. It's kind of a very straight front leg and gets the benefit of his height. He's whatever he is, 6'4", 6'5", maybe. And when you're tall like that, it's very important to stay. If you watch his front leg here when he bowls, it's absolutely straight, and that gives him the lever to generate kind of that pace that he has. It's important for any young bowlers watching. That front leg is a very, very important element of the action.
Yeah. We watch him now.
Yeah, keep an eye on his front leg here to see how straight it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what helps generate the pace. You know, you've got the lever. It's like a pendulum that comes straight over.
Certainly, Captain Butterley will be delighted with how his troops have started out here. We're in the 5th over. This is the National Cup final between Rush and Leash cricket clubs. One of the striking things about Leash Cricket Club, Brian, is the fact that they have won back-to-back Senior 2 Cup finals.
Yeah.
Now that's no mean achievement. It's a tricky cup to win that, the Senior 2 Cup.
Yeah.
But to do it back-to-back shows that You know, there's a real degree of solidity about this side.
There is, and again, a little bit like Rush, it's probably no coincidence that these two teams have made it to the final. A little bit like Rush, they're a very strong cup side, you know, it's funny when you've been in cup finals and won them. Gives you just that little degree of confidence when this game gets to some of the key critical moments. Those guys that have been in that situation before really benefit from it. They just kind of, you know, there's nothing that can replace experience of those really tight situations.
Gotta say congratulations to Brian McDermott and the ground staff here in Clontarf Cricket Club. They have the square, the outfield just looking a picture. It's a great credit to Brian and all the lads here in Clontarf. Take a real pride in their club, and
yeah, Brian works very hard on the ground here, obviously, and you can see that in the way it's set up today. He follows a long line of illustrious groundsmen here, from Bertie Shaw and Pod Hughes and Carl McDermott, who's gone on to greater things in the English county game.
He's doing so well.
Been very lucky to have some very good groundsmen here.
Yeah, they play such an integral part in the life of any club. In comes Gull. Croke on strike. Just pushed out to point. The call is no. It's a correct call. Never a run there.
And Croke and Siddiqui, to be fair, apart from the odd flash at the wider ones, they've been quite disciplined in their batting so far as well. Again, as we said, and they shouldn't be overly concerned. Obviously, they would like to kind of push the run rate on a little bit from this, but they wouldn't be overly concerned. Wickets are at a premium at this early stage of the game. That's the first really loose ball from Siddiq Gull, just a little bit falling on the leg side, and Croke was able to just lean on that and push it through the leg side for a couple.
It's turned out a glorious morning now.
Well, I was just going to say, the sun is starting to peek out now. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be okay. Maybe my choice to go in shorts today actually wasn't such a hasty decision after all.
Wise move on your part.
So I was listening to one of your commentaries from Stormont during the Afghan series when you were with Andy Balbirnie and you were looking for ice creams. I was wondering, did you find any ice creams here yesterday?
No, we did go looking at one stage, but the researcher came back with pancakes. So I'm not quite sure how that happened, but they were rather tasty, I have to say. But yeah, no, Balbo and myself were we were under the pump up in Stormont. It was warm up there.
It did look like that, yeah.
It was glorious. It was just beautiful.
Well, I did see a tweet from Brian McDermott, actually, the groundsman, of a 99 ice cream cone with a little strawberry flavouring on it as well. So I was just wondering if you got in on that action.
No, but today is another day, Brian. So we might go on the hunt again later on today. So you enjoy your rugby refereeing?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, it's good fun. And it's nice to be involved at the level I'm at. Like on Friday night, I was on the line for the Leinster Bath pre-season friendly. Yeah. Yesterday, I was out over in Seapoint and Skerries in the Leinster Cup.
Who won that game?
Seapoint. Skerries won very easy. They won by about 40 odd points. They were very good actually yesterday.
Okay.
Skerries looking well set up for this season.
on the Leinster-Bath game.
Leinster-Bath game was an interesting one, yeah. It's on in Donnybrook on Friday night, and Bath won that one by about 20 points. The scoreline was probably a bit unfair on Leinster. Bath were fully loaded. They had all their internationals playing. Leinster kind of are still getting some of their internationals back. So, yeah, but it's good. It was good blowout, early, pre-season blowout.
What sort of crowd was in Donnybrook on Friday
Decent
night?
enough crowd. I think about 4,500.
Oh, very good.
People.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah.
So not bad. It was beautiful evening on Friday. So perfect for rugby.
Yeah. I see your young man with you, Brian. Is he a very keen cricketer?
He is. Yeah, he loves it.
He loves it. Yeah.
He comes down here in Clontarf and hangs around with his mates.
Yeah,
the ball.
You're a lucky dad. No better place to hang out. School starting up next week, I'd imagine, though.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to getting them all back into school. Back into a routine. They're not looking forward to going back.
No.
That's their problem.
Nicely bowled, just varying his pace here. That's the experience of Eastwood. Good delivery.
Yeah, it's been a super spell from him. I think, just 2 runs off the bat so far. Well into his 4th over now. So it's been a very, very good start from Alan Eastwood. Just the only thing that's missing from Rush's point of view is that opening wicket.
Eastwood comes hunting again for that early wicket. Very watchful on the part of Siddiqui there, just watching it through to young Pebbles Rock.
Just speaking of Neil Rock and his captaincy of the under-15s during the week, it appeared as if they were involved in a lot of very, very tight, close games throughout that week.
I was actually talking to Simon Johnson yesterday, of course, lead coach with the Irish under-15s and also looks after the Waringstown first 11. But he was just saying, the boys did very well. They were involved in numerous close encounters. Every game seemed to sort of go down to the wire.
Yeah.
And the fact that the Irish boys were all under 15, a lot of the opposition boys were a year or 2 older, which makes a colossal difference. Well fielded. But some very good performances on the part of numerous Irish boys. They did very well. Young J.J. Garth, I saw, took a 6-wicket haul in one match, and he'll have been delighted with that, as will Rush with this. Another good delivery from Gull there. He's been very impressive this morning as well, Brian.
He has. He's just his line has been spot on, and he's just varying his length there. You can see the previous ball a little bit fuller, just short of a length that time, and he's causing problems for both Paul Croak and Anis Siddiqui here. Yet again, almost perfect line and length there, and just missing to find the outside edge. It's very, very close to finding the outside edge.
Great to see the President of Cricket Ireland, Henry Tighe, here this morning. A really wonderful supporter of all things Irish cricket. He's just been terrific. At every Interpro game, every Irish game, every Ireland Day game. I was listening to his dulcet tones last night at the Pembroke dinner, where he was excellent.
Good night, Had.
Excellent.
You're
Excellent.
looking fairly,
Excellent.
You
Well,
took it easy on the sherries.
I did take it easy on the sherries. Yeah, I had. Well, I was very conscious I had to be here early this morning, but Henry Ty spoke, and the evening was wrapped up with a wonderful speech from John Mooney. He was big appeal, but nothing on the part of Gull. He wasn't interested in appealing there. Yeah, John spoke last night, and he was terrific. He was very funny. He was just John Mooney.
Yes.
Yeah. Fantastic man. 7 overs gone. 7 runs on the board. Quality bowling this.
It's good bowling, and then the last bowl of that over, as you say, a half-hearted appeal. It looked as if Siddiqui got outside the line comfortably, and certainly Sadat Gul didn't seem too interested in appealing along with his colleagues. But it's been a very, very fine start from both bowlers. Be interesting to see how long Alan Butterley bowls these two guys. This is Alan Eastwood's 5th now. So would he hold him back, or will he continue?
Well, one of the interesting things again about yesterday's game was all 4 opening bowlers, hit their straps early on and bowled exceptionally well. One of them bowled through, and again, I'm a firm believer, if you have a guy who's hitting his straps, got a good rhythm about him, it can and does make sense to leave him bowl his spell through. Very impressive spell here yesterday, Brian, from another young Irish underaged international, young Max Neville from Merrion. He was really very good yesterday.
Again, very, very close to put the outside edge and the off stump there too. You just feel if both of these batsmen can kind of see out this initial hostile period from the rush bowlers, then they'll be well set. I think the wicket is one that once you get yourself in, then you give yourself
every chance.
I would
agree with that. Yeah. No. Croak there just doing a little bit of off-stump fishing.
Yeah, a bit of a nothing shot there.
Yeah.
Just it was a little bit shorter. He just kind of hung his bat out there. Not a huge amount of foot movement.
Another fine young cricketer here in front of us, Dean Brogan, steeped in all things rush. Great young boy. There's Dino.
Yeah, just right on cue. Very good piece of fielding there. It was away to his right. He moved very, very quickly, palmed it, and then was up again to prevent the single off the misfield. It's the third time that Paul Croak has got a big inside edge, and again that time just kind of going onto his foot. But
riding his look a little bit here, Croak.
Yeah.
Yeah. His feet just seem to be getting a little bit stuck on the wicket now. He's looking in sheer
He
disbelief there.
he is. He's giving it the teapot, the full teapot.
He is
there.
giving
He's-
it the full
he's,
teapot.
Yeah.
Oh, he's great.
I think he's just a little frustrated that he hasn't got any reward for his
excellent
early
spell.
effort.
Yeah.
Yes, he's beaten the outside edge on numerous occasions and just too good to get the outside edge, maybe.
Yeah. And that can happen so often in this sport. Gull continuing his spell here now. Sadiki on strike. In comes Gull. Right arm over the wicket. Gull has bowled a really good length, Brian, this morning.
Yeah, he has. In
Yeah.
fact, out of this is just the start of his fifth over. There's only 2 deliveries, one wide outside off stump and one a kind of half volley on leg side. Apart from that, every other ball has been absolutely perfect. A wily old campaigner.
Oh, absolutely. So what are the Sunday afternoon plans today?
Well, I've got a son who's playing over in Marion. I'm kind of hoping that the whole Marion club has been out celebrating all night, and he'll have an easy day out over there. So I'm going
Going to make your way over there?
pop over at
Very
some
good,
stage.
yeah. Very good.
But actually, I'd far prefer to stay here and watch this. Actually,
Yeah, well,
don't tell my son that though.
I think the Marion celebrations. I think that's the old-fashioned cut in half. Yeah, I think the Marion celebrations would have been fairly muted in that they have an enormous game today.
Yeah, it'll be
Yeah.
interesting to see how they get on today.
Yeah. You know, there's daylight between themselves and they're second from the bottom. Daylight between themselves and the third from the bottom now, and they won't enjoy being in that position. And it's extraordinary how Division 1 cricket in Leinster is littered with All-Ireland winning casualties between yourselves here in Clontarf and the Hills and winning All-Irelands and going down to Division 2. It's funny as to how that pattern has established itself a little bit.
With an 8-team league and the possibility of 2 going down, it means it's very, very competitive. It's very, very tight. You know, if you lose a couple of games in a row, it puts you in the danger zone. Obviously, if you get a cup campaign, you know, where that takes some of your focus, that has an impact. And certainly we've seen that happen a couple of times in a couple of seasons. There's a slower ball there from Sadak Gull. Again, that variation in pace. All his experience.
The Dublin jerseys arriving en masse.
Yeah, that's what we're up to, about 4 or 5.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, it's great.
Keep a count during the day.
Yeah, it's great to see them.
May not see very many Kerry jerseys though.
No, wouldn't think so. Well bowled again, varying his pace beautifully here.
Yeah, another slower ball that time. Full slower ball. He's looking for the rash shot from Paul Krug.
Brian, I'm going to thank you very much for your contribution this morning. It's been fantastic as always. I don't know if you're around later in the day, but if you are, you might come up and say hello to me, please.
I'll pop back and say hello later on. Yeah,
Great.
absolutely.
You're very good.
Yeah.
Brian McNeese
Thank you.
joining me this morning. And a big thank you to him. So 10 overs gone now. Leash 8 without loss. They'll be keen to get that scoreboard ticking a little bit. Is this the first change of bowling? Yes, it is. Another great rush man coming into the attack here, Owen Conway. I want to say good afternoon. We're just after midday, just coming up to 12:10. to say good afternoon and hello to a great pal of mine. Not sure what capacity he's with us today, but he is the boss man in Cricket Leinster, the president of Cricket Leinster, and an absolute stalwart of Leash Cricket Club. Hello and good afternoon to Roland Bradley.
Afternoon, Heatley.
How are the nerves?
The nerves are pretty settled. Things are going a little slow, but I think we're playing to a plan. In other words, for us it's so important not to lose early wickets, and we can certainly put a score on the board if we bat to 50 overs.
Very good. Well, just saying there's actually huge similarities between this game and the game yesterday. If you look, Waringstown won the toss, elected to field, put Merrion in, and after 8 overs, I think Merrion were about 10 runs as well. So it's extraordinary how the similarities have played themselves out here. You nervous? Do you get nervous?
I get nervous when I do certain things, but not anymore with this because it's I'm around cricket so much. But this is our biggest day in Leash by a far away. We've won 2 Senior 2 cups in the last 2 years, and they were nervous days. But this is a day a club like ours can only dream of.
Gosh, it's wonderful. I was just talking to former Irish selector Brian McNeice prior to you coming in to meet Roland, and we were just talking about that very achievement. I mean, winning 1 is no mean feat, but replicating it and back-to-back years was just fantastic for the club.
Yeah, absolutely, because we were a club that went through transition, lost a lot of players, and had our own demons and difficulties, but certainly winning the 2 Senior 2 cups has cemented the club for us. And
with absolute reason, I can fully understand that. Terrific. And I have to say, I love the Leash strip. It is fantastic, Roland.
We are very lucky. Our captain, Rashid, is in the clothes business.
Oh.
And we, for the first lot of coloured clothing, we got some local Leash kit. But Rashid came up with this, and it's lovely. It's absolutely
lovely. It is lovely, yeah.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Very, very bright and cheerful and colourful.
Lovely. It's lovely, and I love the crests, and I love the club name. So well done to the skipper. He's done a great job taking that little project on. All clubs need people who'll take on little jobs, and it makes the running of a cricket club so much easier. In comes Owen Conway. Croke has just been a little bit caught at the wicket, Roland, this morning.
Yeah, we made a change of batting before the start today. Ben Hur, who has been opening for the club for a long time, is after going through a very poor run of ducks and ones and ducks. And this chap, Croke, has been playing on one of the lower teams and getting runs and hitting the ball quite clean. So he's been playing on our Midland side, which is in the Midland Cup final, and doing very well on it. So the choice was made to bring him in. So he actually may be the most nervous person out there.
I'm sure, absolutely. It's a huge occasion for all the players involved. This is the final of the National Cup. Leash Cricket Club against Rush Cricket Club. And a big cheer from the Rush faithful. Lionel Jansen, great cricketer, great man. Been so involved with Rush now for a number of years. Replacing Gull. This will be interesting to see how this goes. So, tell me a little bit about Siddiqui, Roland.
Well, Anis Siddiqui arrived in Portlaoise about 7 years ago. He came in as a political refugee, was a first-class umpire in Pakistan and may have had some minor difficulties and left there, and he has been living in Portlaoise and he's been playing with us for the last 2-3 years.
Okay.
He is an excellent coach. Kamal Merchant and himself from YMCA are very good friends.
Okay.
And he's an excellent coach, but we haven't always had the advantage of having him coaching. He's been quite sick for a period of time, so this year he didn't. He's played very little and hasn't coached a lot, but he's in the team, someone there to shore us up at the start. Hopefully not shore us up too much. and he's a very useful spin bowler.
Well, all his talents will be required on this big stage today. And I've no doubt that he'll be doing his very best to shine. Leash Cricket Club against Rush Cricket Club. This is the 2016 National Cup Final. Wonderful occasion. We're here in Clontarf Cricket Club. A beautiful Clontarf Cricket Club. Looks fantastic, Roland, doesn't it?
It's just a picture, if you know what I mean. But you come to Clontarf always for cricket, regardless of what it is, and the place just strikes you that you just feel you want to go out and play. It's just beautiful.
Yeah. An excellent operator in Brian McDermott, head of grounds here. He's a great fella. In comes Lionel. Croak just looking to...
Yeah, Croak is quite bogged down at the moment. His job would have been to stay there but to score, where Anis's job for the start would have been to make sure that we didn't have a serious collapse. Was that the first shot in anger today?
I think it probably was. Yeah. Pulling it over mid-wicket, out towards the mid-wicket boundary. Still waiting. Still waiting for our first boundary of the morning. Croak looking to rectify that. And so 12 overs gone. Leash 13 runs without loss. Having navigated their way through the first tricky 10, Leash will be keen to just gently move through the gears here. Great colours you'd expect. It's a wonderful occasion, this. It's a glorious day. If you're around the Clontarf, North Dublin area, come on down, you'll see a terrific game of cricket. Nice to see so many people. Roland, isn't it great? Lovely.
Yeah, it's absolutely wonderful, and it's a credit to Cricket Ireland and to Clontarf the way the 2 days have been put on, actually. So it's wonderful, absolutely. Yeah. And it pays back to all the people that do the voluntary work in these clubs when they see such a fine occasion taking place.
Yeah. And it's special for so many people, for the Alakadoos in the club, but none more so than for the players. To play in a ground like this with full advertising hoarding, it just...
We also have to say, from the likes of a country club like Leash, to end up having a full match live streamed is just, that's a complete dream, because we have had over our years players from an awful lot of the countries that are relatively now playing cricket, and we have sent emails all over the place to tell people today to watch Leash playing. Yeah. My son in San Francisco will be up at whatever time it is. They are 8 hours ahead, and my wife was out there visiting at the moment, so they're actually up watching this. So,
well, Liz, if you're listening to hubby, or if you're listening to my dulcet tones, good afternoon to you, and I hope you and the family are enjoying this live broadcast coming to you from Clontarf Cricket Club. I'm sure Liz is biting her fingernails, and she's a great supporter of all things Leash, has scored and done so many things in the club. She's a great lady, so I hope you're enjoying the live stream, and may it be coming into the sitting room wherever you are. Isn't it great? But it is great. It's a wonderful facility that Cricket Ireland have initiated. And it's brought lots of pleasure to lots of people, Roland. I can tell you I know when doing the live stream, my phone is, as I speak, it's just buzzing and buzzing and buzzing with people getting lots of pleasure.
Absolutely, and that's what we need for cricket, more publicity, and something like this is so relevant to the clubs because they relate to the players. So to put on these two matches, it's absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, I mean it's I find it hard to get my head around the fact, Roland, that in this internet age, trouble here.
Oh, ran out the wrong man. 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 Okay. Ran out the wrong man.
A mix-up here.
Yeah.
I'm afraid it happens in cricket.
Yeah, a bit of a mix-up there, but I think actually the umpires have it right. I think they got I think Paul Croke will have to go.
Yes, I think he will. Yeah, no doubt about that. Umpire Seaver and Gull just saying yes.
Paul Croke was run out for 9.
And so Paul getting a well-deserved round of applause. It's an unfortunate way in which to lose your wicket, a mix-up, but it does happen. As long as cricket is going to be played, mix-ups will occur.
And the incoming batsman, Rashid Mirage.
You spared up. Thanks a million. Thank you.
Yeah, that brings our captain Rashid to the wicket, so this will be quite interesting, yeah.
Nice to see the great Joe Curtis here, one of the great photographers of cricket. Wonderful photographer. He's snapping away till his heart's content. He is
an extremely trusting man. The Leash boys asked him what does his kit up there cost, and he said somewhere between 20 and 25,000, and he allowed us to be beside it.
And there's the first big hit of the day. Terrific 6.
There may have been words about the run out. I think the anger was taken out in that ball.
Yeah, but as you know better than anyone, it's just part of cricket. Quality cricket shot. The first big boundary of the day. Big appeal. Umpire Seaver remains unmoved and unfazed.
Almost looked as well as an LBW shout that the keeper had a real
But I thought well run. Good single. It's another single to the total. Great encouragement for the Leash boys from the Leash contingent here beside us, urging the lads on. Moving into the 20s now. 20 for the loss of just 1 wicket. An unfortunate run out. Paul Croke.
Paul actually works in the National Stud, and he came home from Australia where he had the unfortunate accident of being bitten by a stallion.
Ooh,
and
nasty.
Yeah, he came home and was quite badly injured, and he's now working in the National Stud.
He's okay and fully
Yes,
recovered, I hope.
he's
Yeah.
perfect. I actually never asked him where he was bitten, but I think it
Okay.
was a fairly nasty bite.
No, I don't fancy the gnashes of a horse getting into me, Roland. Wouldn't be my cup of tea. Don't have the bravery to even go up and pat one of those four-legged guys. Leave that to others. 21 for 1 here now. We're in the 14th over. Nicely swept, but well fielded. It's a great phrase, that. Let's open the gate here, buddy. Cricket is full of so many terrific little chirps and all sorts of things. So that's a new one on me. It's all part of the game, though.
Yes, of course it is. And once nothing gets over the top, it is certainly part of the game. And we wouldn't like to see cricket played without a bit of spirit in it.
Yeah, exactly.
And people have to be, once nobody is malicious against the batsman or anything like that, that is fair. But in fact, we once had a batsman down in Leash that used to actually bustle the fielders.
Oh, good Lord. Yeah, I haven't heard of that too often now.
Our relevant president, Sir Thomas Cosby, would actually turn around and give the fielders a hard time.
Oh,
so
right,
we actually
okay.
used to say, watch out.
Owen Conway continuing his spell. In he comes. Nicely played. Quality cricket shot. Umpire Sum just signalling a 4 to the scorers. Beautifully clipped off his legs out to the square leg boundary. Leash Cricket Club. 25 now for 1. We're in the 14th over. You enjoyed the Pembroke dinner last night?
It was actually fantastic, and they gave us main course and dessert because they gave us 2 fantastic speakers. And it was quite interesting. I've actually a blank on the lady's name. Taylor, is that right?
Taylor, correct, yeah.
When she mentioned she was from Huddersfield, and my wife is from Huddersfield. And I went up to her after and just asked where did she play her cricket, and in fact she played her cricket 3 doors down from where my wife Liz came from originally.
Okay.
So that was quite relevant. And then of course John Boy was just fantastic. He was just actually fantastic.
There is a legend. He was very funny, wasn't he? I enjoyed his stories.
I wondered does he bring his solicitor around with him.
He was fantastic. And I just so enjoyed his ending. I said to him afterwards, when he spoke about hitting the winning runs against England, and he did it for every cricket club in the country, and he did. That's the type. Another good shot, that down the ground. Should be, no, I was going to say, had they taken the first one quickly, there could have been 2 there. Just being a little bit sedate in their running, but scoreboard starting to tick along here now. Looking to glance it down between first slip and gully, but just getting too much bat on it. I didn't realise Liz is she a Yorkshire lass?
Yeah, my wife Liz was actually born in Wexford. Her parents came over here after the Second World War, but they were all from Gokar. And it was one quite interesting fact was that her uncle Archie owned an undertaking business, and he sold it to Ray Wilson, who played full back for England in the 1966 World Cup winning team.
Oh, wow.
And
Wow.
Ray Wilson has buried all of her relations.
Okay.
And in fact, when he buried Liz's dad, or cremated Liz's dad, or whatever did at the time, he promised Lee, my son, a football football signed by the team. But unfortunately, it never happened. But so she comes from Gokra, which is a little hilly village part of Huddersfield.
Okay. Gokra.
Yeah.
Okay. It's one of my favourite parts of the UK. I was over there for about 6 years, and
Yeah, well then,
Yeah.
you know, and the houses are built in that beautiful
it's,
stone.
gorgeous.
They look as if they were there since Adam was a boy. So, you know, it's very interesting. And the cricket ground was just right behind the pub, which was 3 doors down from. So that was where Lee, my son, went to play cricket, because I had played in King's Hospital as a schoolboy and those things. And then, as I've told many people, I gave up cricket when I left school, mostly because of being given out for handling the ball in a cup final. But and then Lee, our son, came along, and when he was 11 or 12, he went to England and started to play cricket in Gokra. And out of that, when he started, we sent him to Phoenix, because there was no cricket club in Portlaoise. And then Portlaoise started.
Okay. Founded when, Roland?
Portlaoise is 31 years old this year, and it came from, there was originally a cricket club called the Midland Cricket Club, which was in Tullamore,
I remember the Midland Cricket Club well.
and it folded. And when it came, a chap called Trevor Wardrop brought it to Portarlington. It was in Portarlington for 1 year, and then fellas from the rugby club in Portlaoise, because there was only one rugby club in County Leash at that stage, invited the cricket club to come to the rugby club, and that's where we started from.
Very interesting. My guest this morning, wearing a couple of hats, is the president of Cricket Leinster. I speak of Roland Bradley, and of course so involved in all that is Leash Cricket Club.
But the other interesting side was with Midland Cricket, that I spent about 20 years as secretary of Midland Cricket, and people like Alan Murray, that you would have known from Mullingar, and Joe Lister and Dick O'Neill and Paddy Boland. All these people you would have come across were very involved in it. And the one thing I often tell people is that in my 20 odd years as Midland secretary, I saw 10 or 11 cricket clubs disappear. So that's why it's so important that when we have cricket clubs that we keep them, because it's only the people doing the ground keep the cricket club. Anyone can play, but if we don't have people to actually have the facilities there, and that's why in every cricket club the first thing you start with is a tea lady and a groundsman, and then you'll have a club.
Oh, it's so true. And in general, cricket in Leinster, and indeed throughout Ireland, is blessed with so many good groundspeople and ladies and men who are prepared to stick the kettle on, make the sandwich, all the things that matter so much in the sport that we love. 32 now for the loss of just 1 wicket. Earlier on today, Rush won the toss and elected to bowl. Yep. Warm work out there today, Roland. It turned out big appeal. No response from the umpires.
We have as our president in Leash Cricket, we have Thomas Cosby. He actually is Sir Thomas, but lost the Sir somewhere, so he's actually Thomas Cosby to us. But he will be along in a wee while, but he's also the electric picnic man.
Oh, it's coming up to that time of the year
The
as well,
electric
isn't it?
picnic
Yeah.
man is next weekend,
Next
and
weekend,
it is just
okay.
such a phenomenal music festival to see it, to see how everything's prepared and done, to see what happens in it. And Thomas has been very kind to the club, because he always gives us some tickets to sell every year, and that's actually helps our finances.
Oh, terrific.
So
Wonderful.
that's in the last 10 years, he has contributed somewhere between 25 and 30,000 from electric picnic tickets to the running of Leash cricket. So that's no more small feat.
Good shot there. Just getting a little bit of width. Oh, but terribly well fielded. Oh, what a great atmosphere here today now. It's cheering left and right of us. It's wonderful. Just getting a little bit of width there. Cracking it over point. 2 more to the total. Oh, it's great fielding. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that was a bit of class fielding, 4 runs saved, and not perhaps from the youngest man on the rush side. So that
it was a terrific bit of fielding.
Augurs well for the Leash fielders.
Yeah, I know.
The other thing I would say about a club like ours, which is reasonably relevant, is that we're a club that plays by the seat of our pants. There wouldn't be any. We have beautiful training facilities, and we have nets, and we have all portable nets, bowling machines, slip catchers, everything that's needed. But we tend not to train. And this team here, I guarantee you, would not have trained 5 times during the year. Sorry. So
You don't train.
no, they don't train, and
How do you?
I'm not saying that anyway. You will see the seconds out, and you will see the thirds out at nets, but they tend to be very, very little training, and I don't know why that is, but we've tended to show up and play. Now that's some days why, like yesterday, and when we played a league match yesterday, we were all out for the smallest score actually ever scored by our first team, which was probably gave us a wake-up call for today. But we're a different type of cricket club.
Okay, well.
I'm not advocating
no,
that.
not at all. But it's just
it's just how it is.
It's just how it is. Oh, absolutely. And look, change of bowling now. Here comes Dino. This is Dean Brogan. Really fine, competitive young cricketer. In comes Brogan. I've seen Dean play since he was a very knee-height to a grasshopper. He's a terrific young lad.
The sad side is for us, I've seen Alan Eastwood play since he was almost in nappies.
Yeah. Oh, well, sure. But lovely to see them out there. Yeah, it's wonderful. Brogan, right arm over. I think there was definitely a single there. Had he taken off quickly?
Alan was a product of the Ballyegan Cricket Academy, which was so strong for many years, and unfortunately Ballyegan Cricket Club has now ceased.
Now there was a great club. I used to love my annual visit to Ballyegan Cricket Club.
And they had a fantastic team, and unfortunately for many reasons it disintegrated, which was a pity.
Got to ask you about the strength of cricket in the Midlands, Roland. Is it a fluctuating? That's a very good cricket shot. That's a splendid cricket shot.
Rashid, captain.
The skipper, quality cricket shot that. Ball was slightly overpitched and driven beautifully through the covers for 4.
Yeah, cricket in the Midlands is what we might say is stabilised. We have a couple of new clubs coming on board and forming. There's meant to be a new club starting in Kilkenny. Mount Juliet is in Kilkenny, but Mount Juliet is only interested in playing friendly cricket and really has no interest in doing anything more than that. We would regard Gorey, for instance, as in the Midlands, because once upon a time there was a Midland Association, a South East Association, and a chap called Niall McConnell was secretary of the South East, and we amalgamated the two.
Big appeal.
So we would say, yes, that there is stabilisation. A lot of it is being done by the new Asian community that has arrived. But on the other hand, there is the clubs are not disappearing anymore, and there is a few new clubs like perhaps Longford and Slieve Bloom that would have arrived.
But your clubs like Halverstown going well, and
yeah, Halverstown would be a club that has a setup that it has a league side and it has a social side, and they really play the league cricket for just to have a bit of competitive cricket for some of their people. But generally speaking, Halverstown, will be there, won't go anywhere. That's, Mullingar is a bit the same, was out in Mount Murray for years, moved into St. Finian's College. That's
good facility, now.
Good facility.
Yeah.
Then doing fine. A club like ourselves have got over difficulty and, nailed the hatches down. So I think we will be okay. And then, Bagnallstown is a great wee club, wonderful club. Wexford is there. There's a new club in Carlow that probably needs someone to come in and, I won't say help them, but get them to get their facilities proper. They are inclined to just show up to play cricket, and sometimes it is not the way it should be. So, but yeah, cricket in the Midlands is there, and we have the Midland Cup final. It was meant to be played last Sunday, but it was rained off. Leash are in the Midland Cup final now. We don't play our firsts in it anymore. We could play a combination of firsts, seconds, and fellas that have been always living in the Midlands. So we're playing Knockharley in that. In fact, this is quite interesting today. I think this is our 12th cup match, and we didn't play in any T20s.
Wow.
And please don't ask me about the league.
There are certain subjects, Prez, that I know not to touch. And so we're in the 19th over. It's the National Cup final between Leash Cricket Club and Rush Cricket Club.
I suppose the other thing that's happened down country-wise is that young David Murphy, who played with us, came along and moved to Pembroke. Now, I have a policy with chaps like these that if they're good enough to play at a higher level, we will encourage them to leave and go on, and hopefully then they may come back at some stage, and that has happened. And David has gone to a very good cricket shot and a very good fielding. So everybody, two sides are happy at once.
Absolutely. You were mentioning young David Murphy.
Yeah,
fine young bowler for Pembroke.
Fine young bowler, and he's an example of what happens if you take a set up. He is living 50 miles south of Portlaoise, and he played with us. So when he's driving to Dublin every day, he's 120 miles each way of a journey. And but he'll come up to Leash if we have a game on. And if you take it yesterday, we had nobody to score for the firsts. Now, it wasn't a big job scoring for us yesterday, but and David Murphy came up and scored, and that tells you something about the guy.
Of course it does. Former youth international, of course, David Murphy. An opportunity for the second wicket to fall, and it does fall.
Yeah.
Just didn't quite get hold of it, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
And so the second wicket falls in the 19th over. And so Siddiqui makes his way off the field.
Is
Conway for 20 runs.
The incoming bat for Leash, Ramzan. Again, Ramzan, small in stature, but I've seen this guy down the years, Roland.
Yeah, this can be quite entertaining and quite interesting. This is a very good bat, but has to just apply himself, so it'll depend how that goes today.
Am I right in saying, is he the keeper?
Yes, he's the wicket keeper.
Yeah. I'll say, having had the good fortune and great pleasure to go down to Leash many times over the years, he has always entertained our troops with his chat, and he's great. He's good fun. But a good cricketer, a good batsman too.
Yeah, he's a very fine stroke player, so but can be a little bit loose. So it just depends. If he gets going and gets himself to 10, he'll be quite an interesting day with us.
Okay, well, we shall wait and see. Ramzan, the new batsman.
But I'd be relatively happy with that start. We still have plenty of wickets in the hutch, and
What sort of total, Roland, would you like to see? Well, maybe, I won't say what sort of total would you like to see posted. What total do you think is a realistic total?
I think something just over 200. Probably something around 220. And that might seem a very low score, but it's a cup final. And I think that's where we would have been aiming for.
They've got to look to put on about 180 runs in 30 overs, yeah, which is very doable. Not sure whether that got up for the pull shot or not, Roland. I think Ramzan just going after that early in his innings.
He won't die wondering.
No, that's no bad thing. In comes Dean Brogan. Nicely played. Cut square of the wicket. No single. 44 for 2 now. We're in the 20th over. So much to play for in this very important game. The National Cup final of 2016 being hotly contested by two great clubs, Leash and Rush. Well watched.
And from a cricket Leinster point of view, it's quite nice that the two club cups will remain in our province.
Absolutely. Old Ramzan is warming the cockles of the Rush boys are up on their feet. It's just terrific stuff.
That was in a forward defence.
Great stuff. This is great. And that 6 from Ramzan brings up the 50 for Leash. 20 overs gone, 50 runs on the board, 2 wickets down.
After 20 overs, Leash have reached 50 for the loss of 2 wickets.
The two batsmen to fall this morning, Croke and Siddiqui.
10 not out, and Mohammed Ramazan 6 not out.
Owen Conway to continue. rush man. Rashid just taking the single, bringing Ramzan back on strike. I have to say, Roland, don't the umpires look so smart? Lovely, isn't it?
It's absolutely
Just lovely
fantastic.
to
No,
see them beautifully
it's
clad.
just everything, if you know what I mean. And the other thing that's actually quite nice today is both teams are in completely different kit, colour-wise.
Yeah.
So sometimes when you see
Yes.
clothing cricket, it's they can be quite close, but they're both in very distinctive outfits.
Rush, as long as I've known them, have been a maroon club, beautifully bedecked in their maroon trousers and tops with their yellow arms. They look great. Leash Cricket Club, navy and yellow. Lovely caps. What a great day it is for the two clubs.
And in fact, on the Leash kit, we are the only club in Leash that's allowed to use the official county council logo. None of the other clubs are allowed to use it, because what happened, the county council brought out a new logo. Just as it happened, we went and we asked them, and they gave us permission. And when they had given permission, then they felt they had made a mistake, so they didn't give it to anyone else.
Well done.
So
Leash Cricket Club.
our logo shows the Sleeve Bloom Mountains, which is
Yes.
the top of the triangle.
A couple of rivers.
It shows the Barrow and the Nore,
Yeah,
and it shows the 7 families of Leash.
lovely.
So people
That's
would have
lovely.
known of the O'Moores and the O'Dempseys and the O'Connors, and these are the 7 Leash families.
Nicely played.
It doesn't include the Cosbys.
There's got to be 2 there. They've got to take 2. They do take 2. Good running. Bubbling along very nicely now. 20 overs gone. 55 for the loss of 2 wickets. If you're in the vicinity of North Dublin, come on down to Clontarf Cricket Club. It's a great day. It's the National Cup final between 2 great clubs, Leash and Rush. We'd love to see you down here. Great support already. You got to be happy with this start, Roland.
Yeah. First thing for us today was to bat first. I feel that we're far better off posting a score. And once we can post what would be regarded as some way a competitive score, then at least it's up to us to try and defend that.
In comes Dean Brogan. Nicely played. Oh, there's got to be a single there now. All sorts of comings and goings. Touch of the yes, no waits about that one, Roland.
Yeah, that looked like the famous racehorse. Yes, no, wait, and then finally, sorry.
Joined in the commentary box by great old pal of mine. Man who's tried to do me in over the years. Of course, I speak of my broadcasting twin, Fergus Carroll, with us today on the PA. Dublin or Kerry, Fergus? Dublin. Okay, that's the call. Easy. Okay. That's the call. Another Dublin win then, Fergus. Yeah.
The ladies won their semi-final last night. They're in the final.
Oh.
Mayo by a point.
Okay. We went after that, and there is the third. Yes.
That's the man we needed to stay there. That was the man we needed to stay there. Yeah, that's a sad wicket now because it wasn't necessary to do that at that stage, and we certainly needed Ramzan to stay for some time. But not to worry.
No, he just went a little hard, a little early, Roland, I felt.
Yeah, he needed to nail himself down and get in there.
Certainly a good wicket. The incoming batsman for Leash is Omar Rasool. Young man, great young fella. Had the pleasure of chatting to him during the week on the slog sweep.
Yeah, he's our club secretary actually, and he's a good lad now. He takes a real good interest in the cricket club. He actually has a broken finger gone out to bat, so he's strapped up. So it'll be interesting to see how he gets on.
Omar Rasool, he's just completed his leaving cert, and he's hoping to continue his good form in this National Cup final. Orthodox style, mid-order batsman. In comes Brogan again. It's a nice shot. Nice way to get off the mark. Trouble here if he hits. Trouble if he hits. But he doesn't hit. Scampers through for a single. Rasool will be glad to get off the mark there, but in slightly risky circumstances.
Yeah, we're a little bit nervous again. We were actually quite... had taken a very good grip on the game from our point of view of where we wanted to be, but I think Ramzan's wicket didn't help. It was one that we wouldn't have minded being out in different ways, but I felt he kind of gave that wicket up.
Brogan to the skipper. The call is 2. There has to be 2. It's an easy 2 out there. Just sort of chipping it through the mid-wicket area. Good shot from the skipper. 2 more to his total. 2 more to the Leash total. 59 now. We're in the 22nd over, just a change in the field. Brogan taking a man from extra cover, putting him into mid-wicket. Brogan again. Skipper just looking to give himself a little bit of room, but unsuccessful on this occasion.
Yeah, he plays that shot, running the ball down to third man quite a lot, and is very successful with it. So, and his cricketer will look to see where there's gaps on the field, so he will tend to move the ball around. Isn't it a wonderful day?
Oh. I can think of few things I enjoy more. Watching cricket and having the pleasure to chat about it.
And we have a lot of Division 1 and 2 games on as well today in
Yeah,
Leinster.
it's a really big
important
day.
ones.
Oh, a couple
Yeah.
of...
Flowing from the city end now, Alan Eastwood.
Oh, an interesting move this on the part of Rush, bringing back the enormously experienced Alan Eastwood. Quality cricketer, this boy.
Yeah, this is probably one of the finest cricketers ever to come out of the Midlands. And he has played with Pembroke, and then he's moved on to Rush.
I stand to be corrected, Roland, but I think he has an Ireland A cap as well.
Yeah, he certainly has a cap for Ireland, and certainly has, yeah.
A very experienced, wiry campaigner is Alan Eastwood. Thought he bowled exceptionally well early on without much luck. He'll be looking to change that now. It's nicely played.
And also, he's an exceedingly nice young fellow, or old fella now.
Third umpire, Derek Dockrell, walking past us, bedecked in his black slacks and black top. Of course, father of our great international cricketer, George.
And President-elect.
Yes, another fantastic cricket man is Derek. Loves his cricket.
No, I'll be handing over to Derek in November at the AGM, and I'm very pleased that he decided to take the job, because he really is a man that will look after all that part of it extremely well.
Well, I think there's no need for me to tell you, but you've done such a wonderful job, Roland, but your successor is the ultimate safe pair of hands. He was actually president in YMCA, and he very kindly asked me to take the reins from him. And when I took up the presidential reins in YM, the club was in great shape, and that was thanks to Derek.
Well, actually,
Not sure whether I left it in such good shape, but
that is actually wonderful, because it's in a position that when you have my job and you're passing on to the next person, and I have so much confidence in him, and it's wonderful, and it makes me so happy. So it's wonderful. Absolutely great guy.
no, you're a great man. Young Umar Rasool. Well played. Confident stride there into the ball.
Yeah, he's a fine young bat. He hit 100 3 weeks ago, so he's not
He's in good nick, obviously.
He's in good nick, yeah.
Alan Eastwood. Umar Rasool. Wide delivery, I'm sure. Yes. Umpire Sam giving us the familiar stretch of the arms. It's another run to the total. It's now 64 for 3.
From a Leash point of view, the Rush bowling has been exceedingly tight and has not been any way generous with their extras to us.
Well, it's been first class. Their opening spell between Gull and Eastwood was a terrific spell.
When
Plays that shot. I'm amazed Eastie hasn't put somebody into sort of a fly gully there. You may see a change now.
Yeah, I think you will see that, but I'm not sure how many extras Rush have bowled so far in the 23 overs, but when you look at Division 1 and 2 scorecards from each weekend and you see the number of extras, these boys are being extremely mean.
Yeah. Yes, from a Leash perspective, they're not behaving themselves.
Frugal is the word.
Frugal. Nice word, Press. Yeah. Dean Brogan continuing his excellent spell here. Skipper comes over, just has a word in his ear.
I suppose the other side is that because we have been up to this year playing in Division 3 for a long number of years, you will always find in Division 3 at least one bowler that you can...
I'd say 1.5, Roland.
Well, I'm being generous, but you will always find one bowler that you can be...
That you can target.
Yes, that you can certainly target, where today I would imagine that there will be very few, but our bowling is much stronger than our batting, so that'll be...
Big appeal. Very big appeal. Another appeal. All sorts of appealing.
Luckily, they were all irrelevant.
65 for 3. We're nearing the halfway stage.
But considering after 12 overs we were 12 runs, for the last 13 overs we have actually put on 50 runs, which is very acceptable.
Bit of a slightly wishy-washy shot there from Umar. Didn't use his feet, just hanging the bat out the old fishing shot.
Yeah,
got to be careful.
Didn't move the feet, and I see now that Rush have a fly slip in come gully for him.
Good to see the boys in their Dublin jerseys. Big day for the Dubs today.
Yes, it's a big day for the Dubs, and I was quite interested to hear our good friend Fergus reckoning that Kerry maybe shouldn't even have bothered coming up, that they could have stopped in Cashel and had a cup of tea.
Oh, well,
but
our Fergus loves the Dubs.
I know he does.
He's a great
I
Dublin
know he does,
football man.
But it's something that I don't think Kerry will be coming only for the journey. So
I think you're right there. Kick off at 3:30 in Croker.
I'm more of a hurling man myself because I was actually born in Clough-Castlecomer, County Kilkenny, which would have always produced from that area players for the Kilkenny side. And I spent a wee bit of time actually training the Leash goalkeepers in hurling, so I was with the Rigneys when they were there, so it's quite an interesting story how it came about.
It's a good shot.
I used the cricket bowling machine to train the goalkeepers.
Yeah, I can certainly understand the logic in that. Yeah, makes perfect sense.
It was actually quite interesting because the first evening I went out with it, there were, I won't say being condescending, but there was a bit of a joke about this cricket and this bowling machine. But I had my homework done and I had the legs cut to the height where a hurling ball would be hit. And I asked the boys how fast did they hit it, and they were reckoning over 100 miles an hour. So I turned the bowling machine, went out to the 21-yard line, turned the bowling machine up to the fullest, and the goalkeeper never saw the first 3 balls going in, and I suddenly had an audience. And from there I spent a year and a half with the Leash goalkeepers.
Wow.
Best fun I had.
Yeah, lovely. Really interesting experience that as well.
Yeah, they brought along a guy who showed me all the drills, and we had maybe 6 drills we used to do every night with the 3 keepers. And then what I could do is I could drop the ball, 30 yards out on the midfielders, always on the same place, and it was wonderful, absolutely wonderful. And then, unfortunately, my good friend Rigney lost his job as Leash hurling coach, and the rest of his staff were similarly got rid of, including me.
The world in which we lived, in sport at that level.
Yeah, I was quite surprised because I wrote to the people in England that produced the bowling machine and sent them quite a lot of information and told them that there was so many hurling clubs in Ireland and counties and that there was a market for it, and I knew how it worked, and they never showed any interest.
Eastwood again. Should be 2 there if he's got to go out. No, he's got to push that first one harder, Roland.
Yeah, but he ain't going to run out the skipper.
No. Absolutely. Rashid on strike.
The cricket season is starting to wind down, Heatley. This is our last cup final.
Yeah, it is, Roland. Yeah, I think certainly.
And the ladies' senior cup final is on Monday night.
Yeah. Well, we've a lot of cricket to cover. We're myself and the team here. We're all away in Belfast for the week. We go up on Monday until Saturday. We're covering that very important I Cup game between Ireland and Hong Kong. So
Very good.
Yeah, we look
Very
forward
good.
to bringing you that. And the following week we have a T20 series again between Ireland and Hong Kong, and the ladies take on Bangladesh in a series. So lots of live broadcast cricket coming your way.
Yeah, and it's so important because in the far-flung fields of cricket, you know, it's so important to be able to turn on your computer, have a look and see it. And I must compliment you on the live streaming from here. It is fantastic.
Thank you very much indeed.
There's the president of Rush going past, smiling.
The great Matt Sheridan walking past there. Want to thank Richard Holdsworth, Performance Director, Cricket Ireland, has just sent me a note, and thank you, Richard. Alan Eastwood has 3 Ireland caps, all Intercontinental Cups. So, thank you, Richard, very much indeed for that. 71 now for the loss of 3 wickets, just approaching the halfway stage.
Yeah,
And
we're-
also, sorry, I'm just going to interrupt you there. Sorry, Roland. And also, Ger Siggins been on to me as he always does. Thank you, Ger, keeping me posted. We take a break for drinks, and we'll be back with you very shortly. So we are back after our first drinks break. Rush won the toss earlier today. Delighted to have so many of you with us. They elected to bowl. And having done so, Leash are 71 for the loss of 3 wickets. Ramzan, Croak and Sadiki all back on the sideline. The skipper is at the wicket, along with Umar Rasool. Good bit of fielding. And I want to say hello and a very good afternoon to a great Leash stalwart. Good afternoon to Jack Ozenbrook. Good afternoon, Jack.
Good afternoon, Heasley.
How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. Great. When the weather makes it even better.
That's dead right.
Close
Big
call.
appeal.
Yeah.
Big appeal, but umpire Aidan Seaver says no. Dean Brogan continuing his excellent spell here. So, Jack, tell me, originally a Yorkshire man, I believe?
That's correct. Yorkshire boy, born and bred.
Oh.
You know what they say about the Yorkshire boys, born and bred? Strong in his arm and weak in his head.
Terrific. Yeah. Oh, just trying to run it down through the gully area unsuccessfully on this occasion. So how long have you been in Ireland or in Leash, Jack?
I was trying to work it out the other day. I think about 38 years
Okay.
in Ireland altogether.
Okay. Well, I tell you a little story after this delivery.
Yeah.
Jack, in comes Dean Brogan.
Oh, the big
And
wind across the line.
Yeah, no, it's just a straight ball. It was a
That
poor
was
shot.
Absolutely straight ball.
Straight ball.
Wind across the line.
Yeah, he did. He tried to sort of heave it out to the mid-wicket boundary, but unsuccessfully on this occasion.
Yeah.
Delighted to be bringing you the live stream this afternoon, and I want to say a particular hello to Dan Monk. Dan is watching us from Australia. Delighted to hear the commentary, and we're delighted to have you with us, Dan. Long may you enjoy the commentary. So that's the 4th wicket to fall. Leash have got to do a little bit of repair work here, Jack, now.
Yeah, Philip Blackley's in there next now, and is a useful bat, is Philip.
Yeah, I was saying I was over in Taunton, Jack, a number of years ago.
Lovely.
I was with, a beautiful part of the world. I was over with a young Leinster team. It could be, 7, 8, 9 years ago now.
Yeah.
And we were playing Yorkshire County Cricket Club, and the president of Yorkshire County Cricket Club informed me that that very week that I was there, Yorkshire were celebrating their 1,000th club. They've
My God.
1,000 cricket clubs,
Yeah.
between senior clubs, junior clubs, ladies clubs, children's clubs.
Yeah.
And I just thought to myself, how fantastic is that?
Yeah.
It's
Very, very strong.
Yeah, it's just got to be the home of English cricket. There's nowhere like it.
Nowhere like it, absolutely
No,
not.
nothing like a Yorkshire, man. I
And
love them.
every bit of cricket is taken very, very seriously,
Yeah,
from
it's
the lowest
terrific.
to the highest.
Yes,
yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's terrific.
Yeah. Oh, they love the cricket there.
Yeah,
When the weather's good to them.
yeah. Brogan now to Blackley, the new man on strike. Oh, Blackley looking to get forward there, just getting a little bit of an inside
I
edge.
think he was a little bit late on that one, I think,
Yeah.
wasn't he?
Probably a few nerves. It's a big occasion, this, Jack.
Be out there playing, but
I could imagine. Yeah, that's a tremendous occasion for yourself and your colleagues in Leash,
absolutely.
Jack, and
it's a great effort, a big effort to get here. And
Of
it's
course it
a massive,
is.
it's a massive occasion for the guys.
it's a wonderful occasion, and
Yeah.
it's why this National Cup is just so important to see clubs like Leash and Rush battling it out here on a lovely sunny day. The call is wait. It's a correct call.
They're a very lively outfit, Rush. They're very keen. They're very keen in the field. Yeah.
Good side.
Very good side.
Yeah. Yeah.
It'll take a big effort to beat them now. But
I've been told, Jack, I don't know if there's any truth in the rumour that you're a huge fan of visiting Bramall Lane.
absolutely not. We told Mr. Bradley told you that.
I won't tell you who told me that, Jack, but
Bradley told you that one now, didn't he?
He told me that Bramall Lane is the second home to you.
No, I'm the opposite end of the city. I'm
So
a
you're
Hillsborough.
You're a Hillsborough man. You're a Wednesday man.
I
yeah.
am. I'll be across there next week now to watch a match. So
Very good.
there
You've
you go.
always been a Wednesday man since you
Always.
Yeah.
Half the family of Wednesday, another half are United, so there's always a little bit of a friction there at times, you know.
And is there a certain divide in the city that one side of the city goes towards Bramall Lane, the other side towards Hillsborough, or is it?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's not really as such. It's kind of mixed, you know. Like I said, the families support one or the other, and you always get that rivalry. So it's across the city, you know. Shot.
Nicely played, beautifully played. Young Stephen Doheny, Irish under-19 international.
It was a good arm there.
Yeah, terrific young cricketer.
It's great to see it, isn't it?
Yeah, wonderful.
Yeah.
So is it a difficult question to ask your all-time favourite Wednesday player? Is there one you'd pick out?
Chris Waddle.
Chris Waddle, okay, yeah.
Chris Waddle. He was involved in the juniors there for a long. When he retired, he was involved with the juniors at Hillsborough for a long time, and did a great job. And I don't know if he's still involved, but he was up to a couple of years ago. But I watched him a good few times playing, and he was outstanding.
Yeah,
absolutely outstanding. It was a pleasure to watch.
A hero among the Wednesday faithful, no doubt.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he certainly is. Still is. But we had a big disappointment last year, beaten in the playoffs against Hull. But,
I remember that well.
Yeah. And we haven't got a very good start this year, but hopefully it'll put it right.
And you always loved your cricket, Jack?
I did, yeah. Sure, Yorkshireman, you know.
Yeah.
We play football and rugby in the winter, and cricket
during the
all summer, and that's the way it was, you know.
And your local club when you were a boy growing up?
Well, I was Sheffield boy, so there was a lot of... The Sheffield League is very, very strong league. Very, very strong. Lancashire League, Sheffield Leagues, these Yorkshire Leagues, very, very strong leagues. So you had guys like Bishop. Ian Bishop, in fact, played in the Sheffield League for a long time. You know, in between test matches when he was playing for the West Indies. He bowled there in the leagues. And that was interesting on municipal county council cricket pitches.
Yes, I could imagine.
He was very lively.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't quite fancy that, Jack, myself. No, I just leave that.
No, that was...
In you go next.
Yeah.
It's all yours, my friend.
I'd develop a sudden injury and hamstring could be gone all of a sudden.
Exactly what it's all about, Jack.
Yep.
Very important to know when to pull the plug.
Oh, yeah. When you see a guy like that steaming in, you want to say...
Big fish coming at you. No, not my cup of tea.
No.
Nicely played. Really important knock for the skipper. He's got to hold the ship together here now.
Yeah, he's done that several times this year. He's an elegant player. He's a nice player to watch when he gets going. You know, he's a sweet timer. And he's a cool customer as well. Very cool.
Yeah, well, that's what's needed here today.
Yeah.
Cool heads.
Cool head.
Calm demeanours.
Yeah. They're ticking over nicely now, really, I suppose. But they could get last few overs if they go at it. If they have wickets left, they could do some scoring all right.
The key now is knowing when to press the pedal to accelerate, and Blackley on strike.
Oh.
Ooh. I can feel your nerves beside me here, Jack.
Yep, you sure can.
I know exactly what it's like when you're watching the club you love, and it's great to...
Yeah, but this guy's a lively, hustling kind of an action.
He's terrific, fine young cricketer.
Yeah,
has played for Leinster at underage level right throughout his young career. Yeah. Leinster under 13, under 15, under 17.
Yeah.
This is Dean Brogan. In he comes.
Lively, yeah.
Another full length delivery. So where's home in Leash, Jack? Are you a Port Leash man or?
No, I am just outside Portlaoise, just outside a place called Mountrath.
Oh, I know Mountrath. Yeah, of course.
Just I live across from the golf club. Do you play golf?
I do.
I live across from there.
Okay, I love it. Yeah.
Yeah. I was out there this morning with the dog. So
very good.
It's looking well.
Yeah. Nice single from Blackley. Just run down to third man.
That'll settle him down a bit.
Yeah. It's always good to get off the mark. Just settles a few nerves in the tummy. 74. 74 now for the loss of 4 wickets. In comes Brogan.
Oh, it's steady. Oh,
yeah. This is a tricky period for Leash now.
That's a big wicket for
lose
now. Yeah.
Lose the skipper. Rashid departs.
Yeah. Maybe a little bit of impatience will show in
yes,
there. I think
so. Yeah.
Good tight bowling from Rush.
Yes, it's blended bowling. And so the skipper receives a round of applause.
And the incoming batsman is Usama Reeves.
The new batsman for Leash, Usama Rees. You know anything about Usama, Jack? Is he a...
I have a bit of information down there somewhere about Usama.
Yeah.
Just 1 second now, we'll see.
So the 5th wicket falls. The score is 74. We're in the 27th over. Really good start this by Rush. They'll be looking to continue their stranglehold on Leash. Couple of loose shots have been played. In comes Brogan again. Correct call. Usama waiting to get off strike now. He'll be itching to get a few runs on the board. Here comes Brogan. Through to Pebbles, young Neil Rock. Terrific young cricketer. Rush are blessed with some fine young cricketers.
Absolutely. Trying to see it. Usama is down here as our swing king, and he does tend to swing the ball a little bit when he's bowling. Yeah, so he's a useful bowler. Very useful when conditions suit him.
So Philip Blackley and Usama Rees, they have a really important job on their hands here. They've got to stem the flow of wickets. Attacking field, short square leg in place. And looks, he's gone. Yes, he's gone, I'm afraid. Yeah, no, he went after that early, Jack.
Yeah, too early, poor shot.
Yeah.
No timing whatsoever. I think Philip will be having nightmares about that little shot now later on.
But it wasn't a good shot. At this stage, with so many overs left, you know, first thing you've got to try and do is try and bat the overs. And that's the 6th wicket to fall.
Yeah,
the incoming batsman now is Armand Schmidt. He makes his way to the wicket. Sounds a South African name, am
absolutely.
I right? Yeah.
South African born Armand.
Okay.
A decent bowler. When he puts his head to it, he puts his mind to it, he's a fine batsman too.
Well,
but
he's going to
it's
have
time
to
shine now.
He's going to have to do that now, Jack.
Absolutely time for him to shine now.
Yeah.
Get the head together and stay there.
Left-handed bat. Usama is joined by Armand Schmidt. Lionel Jansen, very experienced cricketer indeed. Fine bowler. Pebbles just instructing his troops. Neil Rock, the rush wicketkeeper. Call of yes from the batsman, but no from the non-striking bat.
Yeah, that could be an interesting one now, this, with these two guys batting together.
Okay, well, it's well fielded, very well fielded off his own bowling. 74 for 6. This is the National Cup final. Great occasion.
Oh, another soft wicket there.
There's
another soft wicket.
74 for 7 now. No, just showing a little bit of inexperience there, Jack. It's time to batten the hatches down, I'm afraid.
I'm afraid they'll have to try and see it out now. There's a lot of nerves there, I think, from Armand too. I think.
Yeah.
Johnny Yashin.
The incoming bat is Johnny Yashin.
Johnny is one of our Leash stalwarts. He's been playing for Leash since he was 16, 17 years old. And one of those interesting characters.
Okay.
Type of guy you like to have around the place because he always, it makes things very interesting.
Well, a really important innings for Johnny and indeed for his club. About to begin. Lionel Jansen. 74 for 7 now. A flurry of wickets just. Yassin on strike. Nicely played. It's just the single. Yassin running it fine down to third man. Dean Brogan giving chase. Osama Rice back on strike. Big appeal. Big appeal. No.
What was that appeal for? LBW?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think I'm not sure whether it struck him on the toe.
No, I couldn't see.
But nothing given. Some remains unfazed, and Leash now another run to the total. 75 now for 7. We're in the 30th over, just about to commence over number 30. Dean Brogan will continue this excellent spell of his. Johnny Yassin about to face Ben Brogan, looking to run it down to third man, but not doing so successfully on this occasion. Huge day this, Jack, for Leash Cricket Club.
Absolutely. Massive day for them. They had great success in the Senior 2 Cup again, defended it again last week, which was a brilliant result for them, a fantastic performance from the lads.
Yeah. Who'd you beat in the Cup final this year, Jack?
It was, oh God, good question. Oh my God. Was it Clontarf?
I think it was Clontarf, yeah.
Yeah.
Where was that game played?
That was played in North Kildare.
In North Kildare, okay.
Yep, North Kildare. Yeah. That was another slow wicket as well.
75 for 7. Really, Leash have got to dig deep into their reserves here. They've got to try and bat the overs if at all possible. We're in the 30th over.
Nice shot, well fielded.
Yeah, exceptionally well fielded. Another good shot, but
great feeling off his own bowling.
Yeah,
very good.
Yeah, Brogan will be delighted with this spell.
He has had a very good spell of bowling. He's very effective.
As will his skipper, Alan Butterley. Playing cricket a long time is Alan.
Excellent bowling.
And
top of off stump.
Yeah.
Absolutely excellent.
And so that sees Johnny Yashin depart.
Things are not looking so good for Leash now at the moment.
No, tricky time, Jack, I'm afraid. 75 for 8 now.
Yeah, the tail is going to have to wag big style now.
Yeah, it certainly is.
This is Amir, I think it is. So long. Let's see.
Johnny Yassin bowled by Dean Brogan for 1. And the incoming batsman is Amir Khan.
And the new batsman for Leash is Amir Khan. He goes out to join his partner, Usama Rice. Janssen continuing with his spell now. It's been a really impressive spell of bowling this.
Yeah, it's been very good, very impressive.
Osama.
Gives the ball plenty of air.
Yeah. Osama on strike.
I'm just looking at my old batting partner, Mr. Blackley, William Blackley.
Yeah. Should be a wide delivery. Is a wide delivery. It's another run to the total. Leash will need all the runs they can get at this stage.
Yep, absolutely.
76 and another wide. Make that 77 for 8 now. Janssen will be looking to add to his wicket haul here. Not doing so on that occasion. So you get home to Yorkshire at all, Jack, now, or have you family there? Or
I do have all my family over there. I'm going across next week. I'll do a spot of fishing, a bit of cricket watching, and a little bit of watching the football.
Excellent. Keen fisherman?
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, love it.
What sort of fishing do you?
Everything and anything.
Everything and anything.
If it swims, I'll try and catch it.
Okay.
Excellent. An excellent spell of bowling.
Superb spell by Dino.
Wonderful spell of bowling.
Well done, Dean Brogan. Excellent spell. So Sadat Gul comes back into the attack. He opened the bowling earlier on this morning and bowled beautifully. He'll be looking to mop up the tail here. There's a good shot. Could
Quick
be in
single.
trouble here. No.
Quick single.
Yeah, very good single.
Good running. He has a fine relaxed action when he's bowling. Fine relaxed action and everything into the delivery strides is very good.
Yeah.
Mind you, he's been around for a long time, hasn't he?
He sure has. Yeah.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing, absolutely. Saves his energy.
78 for 8. We're in the 32nd over of the National Cup final. In comes Gull. Nicely played. I think, Jack, even if Leash could bat the next 10 overs and pick up 20 runs, just try and...
Oh yeah, that's a vital. It'd be a big boost if you could do that to give them something to bowl at.
Yeah. Plays that shot nicely off his legs, just clipping it into mid-wicket.
There's
Nice
a fine
shot.
shot. Very good shot.
It's a very good shot.
Nicely clipped off his legs. Good running.
Should be an easy 2 there. Is an easy 2. So important, all these runs at this stage now, Jack.
Yeah, everyone counts now.
Yeah.
The fine shot, clipped it off his legs nicely.
Just clip down to fine leg. Takes the score. We're in the 80s. 80 for 8.
Yes, well, the batsman's very watchful now at the moment.
He's going to have to show there, should I say, going to have to show great concentration. Fine shot from
Good shot
Amir
for 4
Khan.
runs.
Excellent shot.
Cover drive for 4 runs. Very
Yep.
good.
Splendid shot. The captain will be saying more of that, please, Amir. 84 for 8 now. Lionel Janssen continuing his spell.
Good quick single.
I've asked you about your favourite Wednesday footballer, your favourite Yorkshire cricketer, Jack.
Well, there's a couple of them, and they both played for Sheffield Collegiate. And the recent one now is Joe Root. And the one before Joe Root was Michael Vaughan. And when you watch Joe Root play his cover drives, you can see Michael Vaughan's influence when he plays the shot. A very, very strong outfit, Sheffield Collegiate for cricket. Absolutely very powerful.
And as a young boy growing up in Yorkshire, who are your Yorkshire heroes?
Well, I suppose my biggest hero, I think, was Fred Truman.
I was going to say.
We all wanted to be like Fred Truman and bowl him out, you know.
Fiery Fred.
Oh, Fiery Fred was something else. A tough miner's son, a tough miner himself, so he was a coal miner.
Yeah. One of the legends of the game, Fred
Absolutely.
Truman.
I'll be passing through his hometown next week now.
And his hometown is?
Maltby.
Maltby.
Just
okay.
outside Sheffield, Maltby. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And I'll be passing through there now to go and fish. So.
Okay.
Yeah. He was a character, an absolute character.
Oh. And where do you fish over here, Jack?
Everywhere and anywhere. The Shannon, the Barrow, up to the canal. And there's a few lakes around the place that fish very well. So anywhere where there's fish biting.
Yeah.
And myself and Armin Smith, the guy who was batting there, the South African guy, will be fishing. And Armin's a mad fisherman as well.
Okay.
And Roland Bradley is sometimes, but he doesn't catch a whole lot.
No.
He keeps telling us he catches something, but
Yeah,
he doesn't.
Don't
No.
listen to Roland. No. Well played, just pushing it out to point, no run. I think Roland's more of a shoot, isn't he? He likes a shot.
He does. He loves the shooting, yeah. And he goes to non-salmon fishing, but he doesn't catch any salmon at all.
No.
Whatever he tells you now.
No, not at all. Oh. Stick to the shooting, Roland.
Stick to the shooting, yeah.
Yeah, that's the solution there.
The poor old birds have no brains whatsoever, so not like the salmon. The salmon can outthink him, you know.
Yeah. Sadiq Gul continuing. 9 on his back.
Yes, Sadiq Gul. He looks like he could bowl all day long and never get tired.
He has that sort of lazy action about him. Been a really good couple of years for Yorkshire County Cricket Club.
It has, yeah, absolutely.
Winning the county championship.
I think the biggest asset, the biggest move they made, the best move they made was getting Gillespie down there. He looks to be a fantastic manager,
coach,
absolutely superb. And I'll tell you, there was a lot of panic in Yorkshire when they thought Gillespie was going to go to Australia to coach the Australians. We thought we were going to lose him, which I think would be a disaster for Yorkshire, because he's been such an influence, such a massive influence.
Yeah. Wonderful cricketer himself in his day, and now proving himself to be an equally wonderful coach.
Yeah, it seems his management skills seem to be excellent, absolutely excellent.
I saw a splendid documentary on Yorkshire Cricket Club recently, Jack, which was fascinating viewing. And you just see the influence that Gillespie has on his troops.
Yeah, he does, yeah. That's been going on for a while, the Yorkshire Cricket thing on television. It is.
I love the big appeal.
Wonderful viewing.
Very big appeal. I love the Scarborough Festival.
That is very good.
Oh, the Scarborough Festival.
That's very good.
I love it.
Well worth going to see that.
Oh, I love it. I do.
Yeah.
The Scarborough Festival.
Hey, by gum, lad, aye.
That's it.
Yeah, that's played every year, and it is an excellent festival, particularly when the weather's good over there. But when the weather's bad, the east coast of England, when the weather starts blowing, it gets really rough. But it is well worth going to that. Oh,
that seemed to beat him all ends up.
Absolutely. Turned him inside out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Scarborough Festival, if you ever get across there, definitely worth a few days to watch it. Easy.
Not quite sure what that shot was, Jack, to tell you the truth.
I'm baffled myself, I think.
I've seen a few cricketing shots in my day, but that's
yeah,
it's a slightly unusual one, that one.
Yeah, absolutely. He managed to put back the ball on that one.
87 for 8 now.
Well, so far, the boys out there seem to be doing the right thing now, getting their heads down.
Yeah, it's something that's certainly required from a Leash perspective. We're in the 36th over, 35 overs gone.
Yeah.
Here comes the old fox for the road. Alan Eastwood coming back into the attack. He'll be looking to mop up the tail.
Absolutely. Seems the skipper's going to try and clear it up there now.
Yeah. In comes Alan Eastwood.
Good defensive shot there. Well bowled, good defensive shot.
Nicely played. We're in Clontarf Cricket Club for the final of the National Cup between Leash and Rush. Terrific competition this. Both sides will be desperately keen to get their hands on the trophy.
Well played. I think Alan must have 8 overs bowled. This must be his 8th, is it?
This is his 8th, yes.
Yeah. Well played. Well played. I think he put a bit more of venom into that one. A little bit quicker, that delivery, I think.
In comes Eastwood. Oh.
Good shot.
Oh, it's a terrific bit of fielding.
Excellent bit of fielding there.
That is
Excellent
a splendid
fielding.
bit of fielding. It really is. And it gets great applause.
Saved 2 runs for the team. Excellent fielding.
Great bit of fielding there from Sean Monks. And gets a great round of applause. Leash now into the 90s. 90 for 8. There's got to be 2 there, I would have thought. There has to be.
Back for 2. Good running.
Yeah.
Very good running. Take edge through point, I think, there.
Yeah. It's another run to the total. They're all valuable at this stage. 92 now for 8. 36 overs bowled. 14 remain. What can Leash take the total up to? They'll certainly be very keen to get into 3 figures.
Yeah, if the boy at the tail end here could just see out these last 14 overs, it could make a big difference to them.
So after 36 overs, Leash reached 93 for the loss of 8 wickets. Amir Khan 11 not out, Hussain Reeves 5 not out.
Fine piece of bowling. Great throw from the fielder.
Yeah, another 2 runs to the total. Leash getting tantalisingly close to 3 figures now. They move on to 95. Another big appeal by Janssen there. But umpire some having none of it.
I think there was an awful lot of batting involved in that one.
So that's the over completed. 37 now gone. Runs have totally dried up here. But Leash have a very specific job to do, which is to try and bat out the remaining 13 overs. It won't be easy. Easy too, yeah.
Nicely played. Good running.
Yeah, alive and alert. That's what the batsmen have got to be. They've got to try and hustle the rush fielders. They've got to try and take their singles. Again, Eastwood comes in.
Excellent feeling. Great throw from the boundary.
Yeah. Certainly the rush fielding has been first class today.
Absolutely. Some of the fielding was outstanding.
Stopping, throwing, catching, all the disciplines that are required. And that's another tube of Pringles. Absolutely straight down the rosemary, that tube. My colleagues here beside me just getting rid of the old hot and spicy. Good delivery.
Great delivery.
Doesn't bring the wicket that Eastwood so desperately craves. 99 for 8 now.
Does Alan have a wicket at all yet?
Don't think so, no. No.
No, I don't think he has, no. Nicely played off the hip. Good shot.
So that brings up the 100. 100 for 8. 38 overs now gone. It's got to be quick here.
Very quick single.
Yeah, well done.
Very tight single.
Laois 10 overs, 1 made, 2 wickets for 24.
Excellent spell of bowling.
Lionel Janssen, 10 overs, 2 for 24. Superb spell. Eastwood back in again. Could be in trouble if he hits.
Quick single and hit the wickets. I think he was home. Excellent feeling.
Great bit of feeling there from young Stephen Doheney. Feeling at backward point.
We're taking some of the quick singles now. Very good.
It's not a bad little partnership, this, Jack.
It's vital, absolutely vital. At this stage of the game, you've just got to stay together and see out as many of these overs as they can do.
103 for 8 now. Amir Khan and Usama Race there, battling very hard. There's a big appeal. Eastwood, in he comes. Another good delivery.
Another great delivery, yes. I think it's just a matter here now for the boys to see off Eastwood, just to see off his last over 2 overs.
I would have thought that's uppermost in the thoughts of the Leash batsman. Easier said than done, mind you. No footwork at all, I'm afraid.
No, not a bit.
Another good spell from Alan Eastwood. Note for 26 off his 10. Enormously economical as always.
Yep, absolutely. And no wicket for his efforts. He pulled a fine spell.
Change of bowling from the city and now Niall Mullen.
Rank long hop from the new bowler, Niall Mullen. Mullen replacing Lionel Jansen.
A nice little tickle around the corner there.
Yep, certainly was. Nicely played.
Yeah, he's having trouble timing the ball, I think.
Fielded by Mullen there, just at gully. Good piece of work. Gull back into the attack. These two have put on just 32 runs. Extraordinary because he doesn't use his feet at all.
Not at all, no.
It's all just...
It's hand-eye coordination.
Hand
It's very good.
eye,
Yeah, it's very good. But the 32 runs in the context of the game is
huge.
Right, vital, absolutely massive.
Yeah. So a really important stage this for Leash. They've got to try and keep the scoreboard ticking while at the same time protecting their wickets. Nicely played down the ground, 107 for 8. We're in the 42nd over. Earlier on today, Rush won the toss and elected to bowl. And it looks as though that's a very smart and sensible decision on their part. Gull comes in. Looks to hit it down the ground. It's just the single. Doesn't get hold of it.
I think that was the slow ball from Gull. Took a lot of the pace off it there.
Yeah. So 42 overs gone now. $108 for 8. Two Leash batsmen just taking a drink. Niall Mullen continuing. Right arm over the wicket. Off breaks. It's a good shot down the ground. It's just the one though. Leash looking to inject a little bit of momentum into the innings here. Niall Mullen, in he comes. Nicely played, just tucked to Shahid there. Legendary cricketer is Shahid.
Great shot through point.
Yeah, and easy too. One 1-1-2 should I say for 8. Make that 1-1-5 for 8. Bit of an appeal there, mainly from the Rush contingent.
Yeah, and the Rush contingent, all right, about 75 yards away from the bat.
These are very useful runs, Jack, this pair have put on.
Absolutely. If they could see out these last few overs, it would be a major contribution for the boys. At least they'd have something to bowl at.
They've put on 40 runs.
A massive 40 runs. Absolutely. They're playing a very sensible game at the moment. This must be goals last over, I think, isn't it?
Yes.
Good single. Yeah, good quick single.
Yep, there was always a single there.
Well played. Another good single. Well batted. Well played. Well played.
And so that's another over completed. 44 overs gone. 117 for 8.
Yeah, that's the two opening bowlers seen off, I think, now. I think Gull has finished his spell now.
Yep.
Yeah. So the two batsmen are doing the job, using the sense and taking it very handy. Yeah, an excellent partnership from the two boys. Starts his spell with a wide anyway.
Owen Conway.
Owen Conway, yeah.
Yep. He comes back into the attack.
From the city end now, it's Owen Conway.
Looking to give himself some room to cut the ball there, but
Yeah, but he seems to be batting with his feet in concrete.
yeah, I have. It's one of the most unusual innings I've seen for a while.
It is. He's still there, though. He's still there.
Absolutely. That's what it's all about. Couple of wides this over. Well taken single.
There's a excellent shot. 4 through cow corner. A big hit.
Yep. These are such valuable runs.
Priceless at the moment. Absolutely priceless. They have a 49 partnership right now, I think.
They certainly do.
Sensible batting.
Moving into the back end of the Leash innings. Gull with his final over. $124 for 8 now with 5 remaining. Leash have gone to see if they can surpass the 150 total.
Yep, it would be at least it would be some runs on the ball, something for them to bowl at. It's very important. This is a major innings for Leash boys. It's a 50 partnership for the boys there now.
Yeah, excellent work. Not getting a round of applause by their teammates.
I'd say they might have missed it, I think.
I think you're probably right. It's been a terrific effort on the part of the two lads.
Yeah, fantastic.
Nicely steered through gully there.
Lovely shot. Steers beautiful through the gully. Absolutely beautiful.
For those of you joining us on the live stream, hello and good afternoon to you all. Great to have you with us. Clontarf Cricket Club is the venue for the National Cup final between Leash and Rush.
It was a good shot, a very good shot.
It's just the single, but it's another single to the total. 128 now. In comes Gull. Again, nicely played out into the covers.
Yeah.
Not quite the orthodox defence,
No, but very
but he's
effective.
done a very good job. He's done a
Absolutely
really
has.
good job here now, these two boys. 23 and 22 not out respectively. Leash will be delighted with the work that these two have done. Big appeal.
Legs are still in concrete.
Yeah, they have been from the start, but as you
That's
say,
it, yep.
Jack, he's just nurdled it round.
Yeah, he puts back the ball and he's been a very effective. He's been very good for the two of them. Fine spell of bowling from Gold.
Yeah.
Well, where are you from yourself anyway?
I've lived for many, many years in a place called Delgany beside Greystones in County Wicklow.
Yep.
But I grew up in the suburbs of Rathfarnham, between Rathfarnham and Terenure. And
Another quick single.
yeah,
Good running.
very good running. Could be a second, no.
So you're a real dub anyway, right?
Yes, yeah, born and bred all my life, yeah.
A real dub.
Went to school in Dublin.
Mm. Good shot. There's
Nicely
something
played.
of a queer combination, a Dublin man and a Yorkshireman commentating on a cricket match.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, a rare combination.
Mm. And so, Leash move into the 130s. 130 for 8 now. We're in the 47th over. Owen Conway. Just pulled it out to square leg. Should just be a single.
But I'll tell you something, for the back end of the season, the weather is fabulous, isn't it?
Yeah, glorious.
We're blessed today.
Beautiful day here today.
They got away with the bad one there, I think.
Yeah. Threw his hands hard at it.
Just didn't time it well.
131 now. No doubt Leash are eyeing up the 150. We're in the 47th over.
We swing and a miss.
Yep. So 3 overs remaining, a really important 3 overs for Leash. They've got to see, I think, if they can break the 150 barrier and psychologically
It would
That
be
will.
a major effort, and it would be a bit of a because I'd say Rush were looking at bowling Leash out for less than 100.
Absolutely.
Be
a lot less than 100, I would have thought,
and
yeah.
This is a major effort for the boys, and it might give the Leash boys a bit of a boost as well.
Yes. Absolutely. Back into the attack, the very successful Dean Brogan bowled beautifully earlier on today.
We certainly did.
Just readjusting his field. In comes Brogan.
Big heave across the line.
Yeah.
Back from the collector end, Dean Morgan.
Big appreciation from the Rush crowd.
Dean, oh. Great operator, Dean Brogan. Bowled terrifically well earlier on. In he comes from the Colester Road end. No single. Should just be the one.
Just the one. There's one thing about the long batting spell, it'll loosen them up for the bowling spell they're going to have to do after.
Here comes Brogan.
Another swing and a miss.
133 for 8 now. We're in the 48th over. Dean Brogan's 9th. They've certainly frustrated the Rush bowlers. Looking for a second.
Good feeling
Not
again.
there though.
Good feeling. You can't take liberties with the Rush fielders. They're excellent. They're really on the ball today.
134 for 8.
A slower ball.
So 2 overs remaining here in the Leash innings. 134 for 8. No doubt they'll be looking to get after Conway this over. They're going to have to see if they can bring the total to as close to 150 as possible. They're 16 off it as we stand. Start with a dot delivery. Always good from the bowler's perspective to start with a dot. I think he's taken the catch. I wasn't sure whether he had or not.
Looks like he's took an excellent catch.
He has taken the catch because he moved very late.
Took it in front of him.
Yeah.
Very excellent.
And so that's the 9th wicket to fall. 134 for 9. We're in the second last over. The incoming batsman is
an excellent innings.
Getting a round of applause.
Yeah. Fair play to the Rush crowd. Very sporting. Give him a round of applause.
The incoming batsman, Mohammad Shiraz. 134 for 9 now.
And Sherry is another interesting character. This ball could be either get bowled first ball or the ball could be put out into the street.
Well, there's not many deliveries left to put into the street. He only has a handful left. Another dot delivery.
Dot ball.
It's an over that I'm sure Leash would have targeted, the second last over, but no runs coming off the first 3 deliveries. Can they rectify it here? No. Another dot ball. Here's Conway. Should just be a single. Is just the single. 135 for 9. Is tickled into the gully area.
A very good over, 2 runs off the pin.
Yeah.
The second last over, excellent. The captain must be delighted with that bowling.
Yeah. Just 2 runs off the second last over of the innings. 136 for 9 now. Dean Brogan will bowl the final over. In comes Dean Brogan.
Yeah, they need to run every single now.
Yep. I think. An easy 2 there. Dean Brogan goes in hunt of a 5-fer. He dearly loved that.
Yeah, he's bowled very well, deserves it. He's bowled very well.
In he comes. There's another 4 to the total.
Looks like he must have had some bat on it. It's 4.
143 for 9 now. Edging closer to the 150 mark. Certainly didn't look like it at 75 for 8.
Absolutely not. It's a superb 9th wicket partnership there. Scampering now.
The cry is 2, but there was never 2 there. 144. They've got to look to take 2. They'll
take 2, yeah.
Well, they have to. No.
Just a single. $145 for 9. It's been a terrific recovery, this. From Leash, they've done ever so well. In comes Brogan. Be pushing for 2 again.
It goes for 4.
Goes for 4, excellent.
149 for 9. I'm going to
Brilliant.
say thank you very much indeed, Jack, for joining me. Thoroughly enjoyed our chat. And I wish you well on your trip to Yorkshire next week. May you fish well. May you view your beloved Sheffield Wednesday well. And,
I will. I'll enjoy myself, all right.
And I wish you well in the next innings.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting one. Low scoring matches are normally very interesting.
Absolutely.
Because all it takes is a couple of good balls and we'll see what
absolutely.
happens. But the tail end partnerships there were excellent. They really did knuckle down and did the job for them.
Yeah.
So at least I have something to bowl at now.
My contributor, Jack Ozenbrook, I thank him very much indeed. Thanks, Jack.